hi VOD people, hello. Give me 1 second as per usual just to finish getting this set up. I tried a little new thing today where I'm trying to have my music from inside of OBS instead of on a random device, so we will see how that goes. But really quick, let me share this so that people can freaking join. I'm super excited for today's stream. I'll talk about it more when people are actually here, but this should be fun, hopefully. Our hands are gonna be sore, but whatever. If you're watching the VOD, feel free to do this whenever you want. This is always a good, selection of art warm-ups to do. That's what we're doing today, is we're doing art warm-ups. Come join for some art studies. Yay! Okay. And then let me copy that. And I'll post that. And then we'll go to Discord. And then we'll copy and post it again. Okay, let's see. Did I just say copy and post? You know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. Where is the streaming channel? Why can I never find anything? Here it is. Here it is. Okay. At stream ping at events ping. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. And now I can unprivate the stream. Huzzah. Let's see. Stream settings. What do you want it to be? Public. There we go. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to let people join in really quick. Just give people a couple minutes here. And then we can get started. Hello. Alrighty. Hi. Oh my gosh. Hello everyone. Hello. Today's stream is going to be a little bit different. Let me turn the music down slightly. There we go. Today's stream is going to be a little bit different. As you can tell by the title. Hi Rain. Hello everyone. We are going to be doing some art studies today. Or some art studies. So oh my goodness. Hello. Your headphones might die partway through the stream, but you're here. Yay. Today's stream will be a little bit short. A little bit. But what I want everyone who is here to do... You fell asleep to my stream yesterday because I was calming. Yay! I want you all to grab something to draw with. Like whether it's your iPad or your drawing tablet or a sketchbook or something. Because today we are doing some art studies. And if you are able, I would love for you to all join me. And I would love to see how these all turn out in the Discord as well. So. Yes, I reached 9K! Yippee! I tried to make them kind of fun. I tried. Yeah, so we're gonna do some art studies. Take your time and get set up. But I put together some that are fun, at least in my opinion, and are pretty helpful. So we're gonna be doing this as a little bit of a warm up, a little bit of an Artfight prep thingy. What brushes do I use? I use my own brushes. I will eventually put these in my YouTube shop, but I made these guys. They're so fun. You started doing art studies in your sketchbook. Yippee! What kind of studies? So we are going to do... Let me find the breakdown really quick. Hold on. We're going to do... Hi, Moni! We're doing 5 animal gesture studies. And then we're doing 5 people gesture studies. And then we are going to do a color study. So, we're going to do some gestures, some drawing, some coloring. It'll be fun. It'll be not too intense. If you've done gesture studies before of any kind, this will be fine for you. If not, I'm going to teach y'all how to do it. So, no worries there. But yeah, this is just like a little break from the normal streams that I'm up to. Just so we can draw, have fun. If you're too tired, no worries. You can still always hang around and see what me and other people are up to. You don't have to draw. But I do have some stuff for those of us who want to. And if you want to refer back to the stream later to draw and you're just gonna do something else, no worries there. Alright. We will wait a couple more minutes for people to load in. I'm gonna leave a little doodle here. What should I doodle while we wait? Time zones, yes. Let's see. Because I haven't drawn yet today, so this is indeed a warm-up. You gotta go already? No! Hello. Let's see, I'm gonna draw. Have this in the back while you finish your refs? No worries. Yeah, you do not have to do what we're doing, but if you have some time to draw and you want to do some art practicing, this is a good time to do it. You're busy with your mysterious plan. You want me to draw Otto? I'll draw Otto. Okay. You're working on Art.ificer? Yeah, we're like co-working, guys. Let's see. Let me draw Otto really quick. How's that guy look? He's like this. Here we go. We got his earrings. And then he has his freaking hair with that little ponytail. Here he is. Here's Otto. Yeah. You're gonna R2UP. What is the 15-minute timer for? That is gonna be, I'm gonna change it for when we're working on the studies. There's gonna be little timers for each one. Yeah. Who is Otto? He is one of my OCs. He's on my Artfight. You need to lock in as well, but your motivation is gone on vacation. No worries. Yeah, if you guys are up for it, you could join me. If not, that is fine. Hello. All right, okay. It looks like we have a good amount of people here. As people join in, I can explain more, but what we're going to do is we are going to start out. Do you see the little image that is in the corner up here? This photo is what our reference section is going to be. So this section is always going to have whatever reference image we're doing. And if you do not know what a gesture sketch is, it's pretty much just sketching what you see for like 5 minutes. So I have 5 different photos we're going to use. We're going to do a 5-minute timer on each of them. Hello. And then I have my stream schedule posted online for y'all to see. Yeah, baby goats. So I'm gonna put a 5-minute timer on, and then we're gonna draw these little baby goats, this image for 5 minutes. And that will be the first of the gesture sketches. So that's kind of how it's gonna go. There's gonna be a little timer, there's gonna be little drawings, and that's what it's gonna be. So let me go to the clock here. Let me reset this. So instead of 15 minutes, we want 5 minutes. And then for those of you who are joining me, just make sure we all look at the timer and do our best with the drawing. Keep it loose, keep it fun. If you're not drawing with me, you can always just watch, do whatever. But if you're warming up with me, here you go. So this is the first 5-minute timer with the goats. Ready, set, go. I might be a little bit more quiet when I'm drawing, just because I'm a little focused on these guys. But, you know, it does not have to be perfect. That is totally okay. Let me get the goats up on another screen here so I can see it and chat. Congrats on almost 10K. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. Are you allowed to post and tag me afterwards? Absolutely. Yes. I would appreciate that. I'd love to see what you guys do. And I have some funny photos picked out later too. All the photos that we're using today are my own photography, by the way, so there's no like copyright or like person infringement worries here. If you were thinking about that, all these photos are my own because I am a hobbyist photographer. So, oh, the goat is so cute. He is so like shapy actually. Look at him. Yes. You're gonna try and finish refs? Yay! Are you locked in, Era? Yes. All right. And it is okay to let your drawings go off the page. Sometimes that just ends up happening. Sometimes that is the way it is. Okay, I'm going to make these guys a little bit bigger, actually. Let's get the other goat in here. My goat. And then these can just be loose little drawings. This is what I do all the time, actually, when I'm not on stream. This is usually how I warm up. Is I just do a whole bunch of gesture sketches of different people and animals, and it is really helpful. It sometimes doesn't turn out all that well, but you know what? Even if it turns out bad, that is okay because most of the time, stuff isn't going to turn out exactly how you want it. And the best way to get it to turn out how you want is to draw in like both multiple different styles, multiple different objects, so you can build up your visual library so that eventually it's kind of like you have a little hack or like a little shortcut, if you will. So we're going to draw here, add some little patterns. The timer is frozen. Oh my gosh. Let me get that back up for you. Okay. All right, here it is. It looks like if I want the timer to not be frozen, I have to minimize the chat. So while the timer is on, I will not be able to read your guys' messages, but when it's off, I will go back and read chat. So there you go. There you go. I will read what you guys are typing in a little bit, but hopefully a good amount of us are drawing right now. Yeah. And this is like one of the things where I love using photos that I've taken. And I think that if you guys take art like seriously, you want to improve, and you like photography, I strongly suggest using your own photos just as warm-ups and stuff because it makes it a little more personal, you know? Like, you know the context of what you're drawing. Like, for example, this is when me and my family fed baby goats at the zoo. And I don't know, it just adds like a little extra level rather than going on like some random pose generator, which, don't get me wrong, those are absolutely great websites to use. I'd totally recommend them for everyone who likes, you know, just doing their pose studies, because obviously you can't make up every pose, and there's some people who are super athletic and could do all that stuff, but sometimes it is nice to just use your own work. Alright, let's get a couple little values in here. Let's see what we can do at the last minute. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, this is a different type of stream than I normally do, but I think it's a fun idea. I might do more of these in the future if you guys enjoy it. It's just like a little draw with me session. And it's super fun because I like to see how everyone else interprets like the references and stuff too, because I do this in real life. Like, this is one of the classes I'm taking right now is life drawing, which is like a bunch of figure and gesture and stuff. I don't know, it's just cool seeing everyone's different styles play through in like these short little study sessions. Yeah. Okay, let's color that in. Little goat. Number 1 goat right here, so cute. The other thing, the little tip that I have for you guys while you are doing these, if you're doing them with me, is to focus, and I only learned this recently, which is why I'm sharing it, to focus on directional lines and like the volume of the character or like whatever you're drawing, because the lines, if you make it flow with the direction that they are like naturally used to, then it looks better. All right, there is the timer. How do I turn it off? Oh my gosh. There we go. There we go. All right. So this was what I ended up with for my little goats for this session. Let me open up chat again. All right. I can see chat again. Yay! Yippee! You are preparing for Artfight right now, silly. Yay! You take so many photos. You may draw the knights you photographed at Ren Fair. Oh, that would be awesome. That'd be so cool. You're doing face wraps. You're about halfway through with your OCs. Nice. Yes, webtoons are awesome. Do I have a tag that you should use if you post this to Tumblr? If you post it to Tumblr, I personally barely use Tumblr, but if you wanted to tag my account so I can see it, let me actually see what my Tumblr account even is. I don't. Let me see. Normally I would just say post it in the art channel of the Discord server, but if you don't have the server, let's see, you can tag me Artie and then Fisser. So it's Artie and then a dash and then Fisser. So it's like my username, but the dash is after the I. Not as bad as you thought you'd do, given how you haven't drawn animals and from over reference in a year. Yay! Would it be okay to put the drawings in Discord? Absolutely. I would love to see what you guys come up with. I think that'd be super cool. I love seeing what everyone interprets it as. How much creative liberty do you have with the drawings? As much as you want. It's like a from life thing, but you can take it however you want to. Yeah. All right. The next one we're gonna do, let me put on a new canvas really quick. The next one we're gonna do is, we are going to do, there we go. Okay, we got cows. So, I am going to keep the timer open. I cannot see the chat right now. I cannot see the chat until this timer is over. So, we're going to start our little cows in 3, 2, 1. And for this one, I do always suggest trying to get, like, the environment in the piece as well if you can. Normally, I would draw this horizontally, but because of the way the stream layout is, it makes more sense for me to draw vertical so y'all can see what I'm up to. But try and get, like, some foreground, middle ground, background going in. We'll get the little cows. Yeah. Probably after this one, I'm gonna take a little water break. The thing with all of these little studies is that this will make it a shorter stream, but I always, like, encourage doing warm-ups, and I'm gonna keep this, and I might even, like, repurpose some of the clips from this stream into a video eventually, because I think that as an artist, having a good warm-up routine is one of the best things that you can do for yourself. And I want to encourage you guys, if you take art seriously, to get a warm-up routine going, even if it sounds boring as heck. I get it. But it is very helpful, and once you get into it more, I find that it helps, like, negate the effects of art block sometimes. Sometimes if you overstudy, of course you can get into more art block, but there is a very good balance where, you know, if you have like your daily gesture studies that you do and like a color study and stuff, I find that even though I might be a little bit more tired at the end of it, give it like 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then after tired, I'm just inspired. Like, hey, oh my gosh, wait, that rhymes. I don't know. I just find that, like, once I'm in the flow, once I've done, like, the warm-up, it's like, oh, okay, the hard stuff is over for today. Now I can focus on the fun stuff or what I need to do. So that's why I suggest this. And the reason I'm doing animals as well as people, even though I barely draw animals, is just, again, what I was saying with the whole, like, the visual vocabulary thing where, basically in your head, unless you have, like, something like aphantasia, which if you do, I am so sorry. Please just use references to the best of your ability. But if you do not have aphantasia, a visual library in your mind is a very, very important part of your, like, artist's toolbox and whatnot. And I think that, like, if you're able to visualize different objects in your head, or even if you just draw them so much that you have them in muscle memory, you'll never know when you're going to need to have that knowledge of what you're drawing. And it is way better, way better. I messed up the spacing. Oh no. It is way better to have a strong visual library and not need it all than to have to go and find stuff all the time as far as references and such. Because if you already have it in your head, you can be way more imaginative with what you make. And it just makes free drawing so much more fun and easier, and you get in art block less, like I was saying, because you know more how to draw things. Like, if you want to draw a new character, for example, right? Like, if you're making an OC and you're like, okay, wait, I want to make this OC, and I want them, I saw some cool mythology with cows recently, right? And I want to make them related to cows. If you already have been doing, like, studies like what we are, for example, with this cow right here, and this is just an example, of course, it doesn't have to be cows, it could be anything. You're already in your mind gonna have some sort of basic understanding of cows, or like maybe this little grassy landscape or something like that. And so when it comes time to draw it, even though you're still definitely probably gonna be using references, you're gonna be able to be far more imaginative with what you create. And it's overall pretty good. Not to lecture y'all. Sorry, is the art ed major showing right now? I don't know. I just think it's fun. I think it's helpful. And like I said, you do not need to do this. It's not required. It's just if you take art a little more seriously, if you're thinking of doing it as, like, professionally or, like, as a large part of your hobby, this is always a fun thing to consider. I did not get to do a whole bunch of detail on this piece. I was kind of a little scattered everywhere. but that is okay. Timer is almost up. We have 30 seconds. Yay. Let me add some tree details. And let me finish these horns. Oh my gosh, I never finished these horns, did I? But that's fun with these little, like, 5-minute things. Is it's just, like, it's no stress, no pressure. It's just for learning. And you know what? If you fail spectacularly, that's okay because you're learning. That's how I see it. That's how I freaking see it. Yeah. I like the movement of this cow a lot. Okay. Okay. The cow is all finished. Yay. Let me go back to the chat. I can read the chat again. Yay. Hi, guys. I could see you again. All right. All right. The server link for my Discord is in the description of this live stream. Yeah. You're not big into dynamic posing, but if you wanted to practice, you could use Yama, Otani, and Roki's pitching stances. Ooh, that's good. That's good. Gorgeous, thank you. All right, you've been warmed up all day because you've been doing it for work experience. Oh, that's good. That is good. Yes. If you do art for a job, absolutely. You cannot skip your warm-ups. The legs are a little tricky. When you're tired, you get inspired. When you're in the flow, you're ready to go. I like that. I like that. What is happening right now, we are doing a bunch of art studies. So in the corner of the stream, I will have like a little timer. You can see the timer up there. And that timer is just showing how much time we have to draw the reference image. You do not have to draw the reference image, but you know. Let's see. You know someone with aphantasia. Luckily, he's not an artist. Yeah, I feel so bad for people who have it. I know a few people. Artie the Wise. Don't like how this one turned out, but oh well, that's okay. Like I said, you are learning. You are learning. You're locked in right now. Yeah. I seem cool. You just found me and you're already like, oh, thank you, Silly Lou. Yippee. I'm glad. I'm glad you like my vibes. Yay, Triskits. Okay. The next one we're going to do is going to be a goose. Let me get him up. Okay, fun fact, little lore about this goose before we draw him. He is actually my friend, and I know this sounds delusional. I know this sounds crazy. I know that is the craziest thing to say, that a goose is my friend. But this little guy and I, whenever I go to like this forest preserve that he lives at, every single time I go, without fail, geese are so intelligent, by the way. I go up to the lake to the same spot. And whenever I'm there, he always comes up and says hi. And he just kind of like swims by. He poses for my camera so I can get some really good close-up shots. You're an artist with aphantasia. It's hell, Wispy Echo. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Alright. I am going to put the timer on. And again, for the 5 minutes, I cannot see the chat. But before I do that, drink break, guys. If you need water or if you need a snack, go grab it. I'm going to take a little sip. And then I will be right back. Hold on. Okay. All right. Oh, freaking K. Alrighty. You make it work. I'm glad. Okay, I'm going to put the timer on. So again, cannot see the chat, but 5 minutes to draw the little goosey. So let's freaking do it. Yay. I love this guy. I should probably give him a name, actually, because he's my friend. Okay, Goose also, I've been studying geese just because of how often this guy, like, hangs out with me. Like, I've had some really cool, like, I don't know, time and stuff to study them a little bit up close. Because as much as I am chronically online, I'm also chronically offline. And I like hanging out with animals. I like hanging out with nature, if you couldn't tell. All the photos in the backgrounds of my actual YouTube videos are my photography, because I'm a freaking photographer sometimes. Just for fun though. I don't sell it or anything. But with the geese and stuff, I've studied them up close, and it makes me realize, like, I know that birds and dinosaurs are like very close relatives, if not like the same thing basically. But when I see the beaks of the geese like up close, because he's brought some of his friends over to me before, when I see the beaks of the geese up close, it is genuinely like fascinating to me how, I don't even know how to say it, like prehistoric they look. Like, they look like you would find it in something like a field museum or like a natural history museum. I don't know, it's crazy to me. So I'm gonna put a little bit of effort onto this guy's beak, just because that is such a crazy thing to me. And this picture doesn't show it very well, but there's another photo that I took of a goose one time, and the beak from the side profile, it like goes down, it's sharp. And it's like, yeah, in my head, I've seen that in cartoons, and like I knew it, but just, I don't know, having the experience in real life is always way different than seeing it like in a show, or just like even on like an image. Because, like, with these photos, if you guys are doing the drawings with me, like, it is one thing, and it is very helpful, of course, but seeing stuff in real life and getting to work with that is always the best way to do it. Or even if you take a photo in real life and then you have to go back and edit it later, just the up-close encounter and being able to look at it in the moment helps you remember and recall a ton of freaking details for later. Oh, look at that eye. He's so cute. I love drawing animals. I need to make more animal characters. I only have like 2 full animal characters at the moment. Actually, I technically have 3, but I haven't drawn her. Because I have Pepper, who is the fjord horsey, Einar's horse. These are my OCs, by the way. You can find them on Artfight. And then I have Kaka, who is Otto's bird. Otto is a pirate, and his bird is Kaka the kakapo. I love those birds. I love animals that are, like, silly. I don't know. I think that they're so intelligent. Like, I think animals are way more intelligent than we give them credit for. But sometimes they do stuff, and it's just like, how are you not extinct? But at the same time, when you think of how are animals not extinct, right, you gotta remember, not to be a whole conservationist here. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an animal rights activist, just so you know. But, like, the whole thing with, like, I can't believe these animals are so stupid. Like, okay, but we have to remember they have, believe it or not, made it this long on Earth. And animals fear humans more than, like, other natural predators in general. Like, if you were to put, like, a human and a lion next to, like, say, a giraffe or something, they'd probably run from the human before the lion. Like, I forgot what animal was with that study specifically. There was a specific study done with that. But, I mean, it's just the fact that these guys have been able to adapt to the ways that we've been treating the planet and everything is kind of incredible to me. And a lot of the time when we, like, put down animals and be like, how could they freaking live here? Well, they lived here before we, like, built a million factories, you know? They were chilling, and then we're the problem, guys. I'm not gonna lie. People are usually the problem when it comes to animals going sick. Not always. Not always. But a good freaking amount of the time. Because even if it's other animals, like invasive species and stuff, that make animals go extinct, how do you think the invasive species got there, right? Like, I know the animals were not crafting rowboats and carrying, like, little rodents across the sea to a whole other continent. Like, that was our fault. And it's just, there's sometimes not much the average person can do, but it is good to just be aware of that. I don't know. I like to yap about this kind of stuff. Yeah. I don't do it normally, but if you guys, I don't know, if you're having fun, let me know. Okay. Goose is done. This is my little goose friend. Let's see. I can see the chat again now. Yay. All right. Coffee and an apple. Yeah. Keeping the doctor away, but you're short. Let's see. You have wanted to be an artist for 12 years. You made it work, whether it wants to or not. Real. Goose has whimsy in his eyes. Yes. You finished making breakfast. It's time to work on your last draft. Go. Freaking for. I love that. Let's see. You love opposite birds. They've got actual teeth. Oh my gosh. That is so cool. Are we only doing animals today? No, we are not just doing animals today. We are going to do animals and then figures, and then we're doing a color study. But the animals are the first of the gestures because it's a nice warm-up. Because it's like you mess up less with animals. I don't know. The intruders. Yes, we are. You get angry at people who hate rats or roaches because they were here first. Exactly. Just like everything. You've been learning about aphantasia a lot recently because you always struggle to describe what you can or can't see. Yeah. My drawings look so cute. Oh, thank you. You're having fun. It's lovely to hear me yap. Yippee. The Artie stream talks about animal conservation like your family's road trip at midnight talks about political corruption. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's one of those conversations, right? Right? You like to kidnap chameleons? Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right, all right. So the next, we have done 3 animals so far. For those of you who are joining in, we have done baby goats, we have done little cows, and then we just did our goose friend. So now we're going to do, who is next? Ooh, next up is an otter. Next up is an otter. I love otters, you guys. You love the yapping today? Yay! What are my top 3 tips for building a successful YouTube channel? Don't hide your personality. Only do it if you're having fun with it. And try and improve one thing with every video or stream that you do. Those are my tips. The fun part about your brain is that you can see a very clear image in your head, but the second you can't recreate it, what's in your head, it vanishes. Oh no. Oh no. I don't know. My head I feel like in my mind, I see it a lot like a 3D software where I can picture an image and then if I just think about it, I can like rotate it. It's like Blender almost. Anyways, this is our little otter friend. I met him a couple weeks ago, actually. Your OC is based off of an otter. He would be one if he was an animal. Oh my gosh, this is perfect for you. This is perfect for you. So, I'm going to get another sip of water. Take a sip or take a bite of your snack and drink really quick. And then we will get to the next one. Okay, I'm back. The otter is so cute. Yay! Hello, hello. Your imagination is like some intense fever dream real. Okay. Alright, you guys. Ooh, you're on a journey to get good at animations. You can make your own movie about your OCs. Oh my gosh, that'd be so fun. Oh my goodness. You do that too? You can see it and you're perfect and rotate? Yeah, it's really fun. My voice is nice to draw to. Oh, thank you. I'm glad. You're thinking about starting an art/art commentary/storytime channel. Ooh. My advice is try and focus on topics that are like interesting and fun, but not like negative farm. I don't know. I personally, I don't like watching negative commentary. That's my little advice. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start the timer, which means I cannot see you guys again, but let's draw our cute little otter friend. Let's draw him really quick. We will have 5 minutes to draw the otter. Yippee. Once I can minimize this, oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. All right, 5 minutes to draw the little otter. Let's go. Now, otters remind me a lot. I just keep coming up with the most random topics related to these images. Oh my goodness. Okay. Otters remind me a lot of Animal Jam. Specifically because in Animal Jam they have like a super fun dance. I don't know if they have this in Animal Jam Play Wild / Animal Jam, but in Animal Jam Classic / original just Animal Jam, they had the cutest little dance ever. And I don't know, otters are just like sea puppies to me. Like they remind me of dogs, but like if they could swim. Their cute little ears are freaking adorable. When I saw, okay, so like I said, for those of you who are joining and did not hear earlier, all the photos that we're using today, these are my photography. And this little otter, I met him at a zoo. I do a lot of zoo photography because if you can get the camera in like a good enough spot, there are always gonna be like some really cool shots because if you have like I use a DSLR. I use a DSLR personally, which is a digital camera. They're like those bigger ones. It's not my phone camera. But if you use something like a DSLR, you can kind of maneuver it a little bit where if you get it really up close to the glass of a cage or within the bars of a cage and whatnot, you can often get pretty clear shots like this one. Like this one kind of looks like I found this dude chilling outside, even though he was at the zoo. And I like playing around with little photography hacks like that. Photography is nice for me because it's like I get to draw. It's still like I'm drawing, I'm doing the art, but it's almost a little break and I can come back to it later. I can use it with the drawing, but I get a little break from hurting my hand, and I get to explore, because if there's one thing about me that you could never take away from my personality, it is that I freaking love exploring. Alright, let me fix his anatomy a little bit here. He's a little far. There we go, that's better. Look at this cute little guy. I love his whiskers. He looks like he's so pettable. Okay, we got some triangle shaped fur. We got lots and lots of triangles. This guy likes his triangles. Oh my goodness. Okay. And if you're doing this, try and follow the direction that you see on, whether it's on the body or the little details, the highlights, the fur, whatnot. Try and follow the direction, because I have, again, found that directional lines always make something look way more... If you're not going for, like, realistic, it doesn't have to be necessarily believable, but, like, I don't know, way more engaging and such. Like, if you see the lines, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, I would see that in real life, even though it's not, like, super realistic. It still, like, kind of can trick people's minds a little bit. So that is something that I've been focusing on recently, because I'm taking a life drawing class, as I was saying. But in the life drawing class too, what I didn't mention earlier is that it is completely just live models, as you would expect from a life drawing class. But our teacher has been doing life drawing, like, he's been teaching this for like his whole career, and this is his last class that he's ever teaching. So I'm very fortunate to be able to receive some of the wisdom that he can, like, share with, like, all of us. And, like, we're just some artists at a college, you know? Like, he is dropping some super good advice, not just with art, but just, like, in general, you know? Like, good career advice, life advice, whatnot. And that's why I personally, in my opinion, I don't necessarily think that it is required. If you're an artist, I don't think it's required for you to go to an art school. But I do think whatever school you end up at, even if you're just taking classes for fun and you're not pursuing a degree, I think you should always try and take in-person art studio classes, because even if you don't learn much from the professor, you can always learn a ton from the peers around you just by observing and interacting with people and stuff. And it can be a little intimidating, but hey, my whole education, I go to community college, and I have had some of, like, the best art advice and, like, wisdom, and, like, I've met some super duper cool people, some super awesome artists, and it was at community college, right? Like, I'm not paying, like, an arm and a leg to go to school, but I'm still learning a ton of valuable information, meeting a ton of awesome people. So I don't know, if you haven't gone to college, university, whatever you want to call it, or if you have, I still suggest going back, like, to a local college or something and taking art classes. So this is my little Otter. I can see the chat again. Welcome back, guys. Let's see. Good morning, dear. It's a deer morning, yeah. Animal Jam. Yes, I love Animal Jam. Yeah, interesting topics, yep. Ooh, you're scripting a video about reviving 20-year-old computer and a video about cringe ourselves. Okay. Otters remind you of fish. Everything is connected to fish in your brain. That's so real. That is so real. I go to actual zoos. Yes, I do. I mean, I don't like to support zoos, but there are some ones that are more humane than others, and it is valuable to get to see a creature, even if they're in captivity. I don't agree with the ways that they are held, and I don't try and spend money at zoos often, but sometimes that is the best for studying. For those who don't know, otters hold each other's hands while they're sleeping. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. Oh my gosh, that's adorable. You once had a bit of a biting experience with otters. Oh my gosh. You spun an otter around, no way. You don't know what's going on in chat. Hello. Little late, but you got home. Welcome, Cole. You're thinking about going to Cal Poly, engineering college. They had an open craft space where you could do pottery and painting. Oh, that's so cool. You love how I drew the eyes. Thank you. He's so cute. The goose is your best currently. Nice. Your otter looks flat, like someone pet him too hard. Oh no. You took an art class once. It was an experience when your classmates dropped out because the teacher wouldn't stop your writing. Okay. That is the thing. Sometimes you do get a bad professor, but I wouldn't drop out of art classes because of a bad professor experience personally. I would say just keep going around and seeing. And of course, not everyone is in the financial situation, but that's why I recommend community college if you have one nearby you. You have an OC who is basically yourself, and how you want yourself to look in an OU real. Creations, yay! Alright, I'm gonna take another sip of water. Hey, water rhymes with otter. And then our next animal is gonna be a baby reindeer. I love reindeers. So I'll switch the image so you guys can get a preview of the baby reindeer. We're not drawing him just yet. I'm gonna get some water first. Hello, if you're near. Hello. My stories are cool and good to listen to while drawing. Yay! I'm glad. Give me 1 sec. Let me drink some more water and then we'll draw our next little guy. Okay. All right. You wish you could go to art school, but you can't find it in your country. That's why I like to do stuff like this too. I mean, this is the first time doing a stream like this, but I don't know. I like taking the experiences and sharing it with you guys. Hopefully, you guys can take something from it. If not, at least you get a fun stream to vibe to, you know? Okay, so next up is our baby reindeer. All right. I'm going to put the timer back on. So like usual for now, I cannot see the chat again while I draw the baby reindeer. But if you want to draw him with me, he is super cute. I love reindeers. They're one of my favorite animals. You need to get some Artfight stuff done. YouTube won't let you split screen without YouTube Premium. Oh my gosh. That is evil, actually. No way. Okay, I'm going to put the timer on. So I will see you guys soon. I will see you guys very soon. And hopefully, we get to see some baby reindeer drawings. Here we go. All right. This guy is a little lumpy. I find it interesting, personally, after, like, looking at reindeers in person, because there's a reindeer ranch kind of by me. I find it interesting how, although they're called reindeers, in my personal opinion, I think they resemble cows way more than they resemble deers. Like, I don't know, their facial structure and stuff reminds me of a cow. Far more than a deer. Like, I've seen both of them up close, you know? And maybe it's like a specific type of deer. Maybe it's just something in the genetics. I haven't researched that. But, I don't know, these guys seem like they would go moo. Also, fun fact for those of you who have never encountered a reindeer in real life. And this is, again, one of those things where it's like, yeah, you can look at photos online, but until you see it in real life, like, I don't know. There's just something different about it. For when you encounter reindeers in real life, except for the baby ones because they are not fully developed yet, reindeers, when they walk, they actually make a clicking noise with their hooves. And when their hooves click, it sounds like a little, like, it's, like, really magical. It's super cool. And I never put two and two together. Like, I would always hear in, like, those Christmas songs, right? Like, where the reindeers would, like, click, like, up on the housetop, click, something like that. I thought that was just, like, a thing, you know? I didn't think reindeers actually made that noise until I got to, like, experience some in real life and whatnot. I don't know. I just think it's super cool. And one time I was at the reindeer ranch, and they have reindeers whose names are based off of Frozen. So I think it was Sven, actually. Sven, the reindeer at the ranch. This guy had a little bit of an attitude, and he was very hungry. He was always hungry. He was looking for something to eat. Reindeers, by the way, they like to eat moss and lichens and stuff. They have a very adaptive, like, dietary palate, I guess you could call it. But Sven, he wanted food, and we did this little thing where if you, like, paid, I don't know, it was like an extra, like, $5 or $10, you could feed the reindeers. And of course, I wanted to feed the reindeers, so I got a carrot, and then the instructor, like, the person who watches over the ranch or the farm or whatnot, she was like, you should put it in your mouth, and he'll eat it from there. And I was like, you know what? Why not? Sure, I'll put it in my mouth. That's a little odd, but I mean, hey, I'm already here. It's worth the experience, right? So I put the carrot in my mouth. Sven comes running over, and he just like, he eats it out of my mouth, and then he gave me a reindeer kiss. So I guess you could say that my first kiss is a reindeer, which is kind of crazy, because that means I'm twinning with Kristoff from Frozen. But yeah, I love Sven. I love reindeers. They're such interesting creatures. I don't know. I think they're so cute. I love how velvety they feel. Because if you ever pet a reindeer's like fur and stuff, you shouldn't pet the antlers necessarily. The antlers are a very, very sensitive part of them, and it can bother them. Like, it's not the end of the world, but like, I don't know, if you had antlers, you wouldn't want someone petting it, and it's just kind of like, they're a little sensitive around there. They don't appreciate it, so I wouldn't recommend petting the reindeer's antlers. But if you pet their fur, they are like a little bit wiry like a cow, but they're mostly like really soft actually, especially the baby reindeers. Pretty velvety. So I don't know. I try and put that texture in the drawing that I'm doing right now. Just because it's like a little thing I noticed with them. This guy is so cute. Aw, so cute. So cute. And with animals covered in fur, it is a little different than drawing humans in terms of directional lines, but you could kind of look up close. I might even make a video about this someday if it interests you guys. Like, if you look up close at the fur patterns, you can get a general vibe of where the things are tightest, where things are moving around, because the fur just reacts to the muscles underneath, the musculature and the bone. And when it's like, I don't know, when it's interacting with the bone versus a muscle, like, it's gonna be like a way different direction, because sometimes, like, for example, the underbelly right here, that is like a more like flappy area because there's a solid bone structure right here with the ribs, but then underneath it's a little more like there's organs and muscles there, but it's not as solid, so it's gonna be flappier and it's gonna have like a bit more of a dynamic direction. But of course it always depends on the pose, which is why observing is always best. Okay, reindeer over. Let's see, I can see the chat again. Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back. You're looking for something to watch, and this is perfect to draw to. Yay! You could do split screen. Yes, Ruth Glitch. You just joined stream. You're editing your YouTube video and needed a break. Woohoo, Grace. You love caribou. In Canada, you call them caribou instead of reindeer. Aren't those different species? I don't know. I always thought caribou and reindeer were different. Like a horse. Yeah, kind of. But it's not the sound of the hoof on the ground. It's like the sound of the hooves, like the bones or something inside actually click together. Frozen, your childhood. Yes, I love Frozen too. He ate it out of my mouth. Yeah, probably not very sanitary. Probably not, but I mean, yeah. Would you say they are calm? I would say that if they have grown up around people and not around like anything violent, they can be calm. But you know, like any animal, the mothers are usually very protective. What team am I on and what is my username? I am on Team Trader. I am on all the Artfight teams, but currently Team Comedy. My username is Art.ificer. Yay. Kind of like clothes. Yes, exactly. It's just like clothes, where like there's the quote folding spots and then there's the looser spots. Clothes, muscles, those work in way similar ways than you would think. Yeah. You remember a short webtoon about reindeers that cross between an island and the whales are so confused? Oh, I love that. You just joined, but did I go to an art school or a regular school? I personally go to community college. I have taken classes at art school, so I have experience at both. I've taken classes at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, one of the biggest accredited nations in the country. Biggest accredited art schools in the nation. And I've also taken art classes at the Ivy League School, Columbia University in New York City. And honestly, I like my community college experience the best. I don't think it's worth spending all that money if you are not in the financial position to do so. The main difference between community college and art school is that at art school you'll get better connections. Yeah. Ooh, you're dyeing your hair tonight, Midnight. What color? That's so cool. You can see the chat. Yay, yippee. Deer nerd here. Caribou and reindeer are the same species. Oh, cool. Cool, I did not know that. You did an essay of reindeer. That's awesome. Trader, yes. You like deer because they're so pretty. You have a full deer girl. See, me too. I love deers. You've been pronouncing the C in Artificer as a K. Artificer? Oh, that's okay. That's okay. You've been split on tragedy and comedy for this year. It's crazy that they have 3 teams. I know, right? You're taking a specialized art course at a regular university. Any tips? It depends on the course. I don't know. I would say even if the curriculum is very loose and the teacher is lenient, put in the best work you can during your studio time because you're already in the studio, so you might as well make the time count, you know? Oh, purple, awesome. You're listening to this while drawing a rough of another OC. It's like we're both doing the same thing. Yay, yeah. Welcome, Emerald. Does an art school teach animation? Is there an animation school? It depends on what country you're in. It depends on the art school as well, because some art schools do teach art and animation. Some only teach animation. I have a couple friends who go to different types of schools, like RISD, Rhode Island School of Design, does not teach animation. SCAD, the Savannah College of Art and Design, does teach animation. Ringling only teaches animation. So it's just like you have to look around. But yeah, a lot of my friends in community college are taking animation at community college, and it's been good for them. Okay, we have done our animals, so now we are no longer on animals, we are now on to our people references. So like I said, all these photos are my own. So these photos are either going to be of me or my friend Bucket. The way you can tell if it's me or my friend Bucket is based on who's wearing the bucket hat and who isn't. But Bucket said that I can use any of their photos. If you were here a couple days ago on one of my Artfight streams, you probably remember Bucket. But yeah. Oh, you want to go to SCAD? Yeah. Sheridan is a good one, I've heard. Yes. Oh, you got CD to use for parts for Artfight. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Yeah, I would recommend looking into it. If you are in the position to do so, campus tours are always great. And my biggest thing with an art school is look up look up the professors there and look at their portfolios. If their portfolios don't align with the kind of work you want to do, I don't recommend that kind of school, you know? Does Bucket only have OCs with bucket hats? No, but their main Sona and everything has a bucket hat, and I've only seen them in real life without a bucket hat like twice. So, we are going to do 5-minute pose studies now. So first up is this one right here. This is Bucket. You want to go to School of Visual Art, but you still don't know what to do after college. I would recommend starting off at a state or community school if you don't know what you're doing, and then transferring to an art school. It saves money and it gives you a better path because there's more like ways to explore. Because in an art school, while it is like interdisciplinary, sometimes you have a focus, whereas in community college you can dabble in whatever you want. Yeah. All right, so this is Bucket. I cannot see the chat again for a little bit. I'm gonna put on the 5-minute timer in a sec after I take another sip of water. And then this is the pose drawing. You guys can also definitely include the environment. And if you do these poses of me and Bucket, again, just with everything, post it in the Discord or wherever you want and tag me, because we love seeing it. And Bucket's probably going to pull up at my house later anyway. They do like every day. So, alright, here is the timer. Let's freaking go. The context for this photo, I guess I can give a little bit of lore. This might be redundant if you were here on stream with Bucket, so I won't go into too much lore, but basically one day we decided to go on a hike. And if you're familiar with the Artie and Bucket hike story, you already know what happens. But basically, we were dilly-dallying. It was like gorgeous. Like as you can see in this photo, peak spot for a hike, you know, like amazing environment and everything. 10 out of 10. But, you know, we were taking reference images, right? We were having a good time dilly-dallying in the woods. And this is a place where they had a laboratory in their woods, which sounds crazy. I know, it sounds crazy. Stranger Things situation right there. But yes, there was a laboratory, and we went on a hike. It was like maybe like 9 miles. It was a great hike, as you could see in these photos. Great hike. But eventually we realized that the park closes an hour before sunset. I mean, it closes at sunset, not an hour after sunset. We thought it closed an hour after sunset, but it closes at sunset. So we realized this because everyone had like gone and it was like night and there was no one there, and we were like 9 miles away from the car, which 9 miles isn't too bad for a walk, like a hike. Like that's totally fine. For me at least, like walking 9 miles is a breeze, but the thing is that it was already nighttime. It was already night and it was really dark. There was no like lights or anything. There's just an ominous lab lingering in the distance. Not a great time overall for people who are scared of that stuff. R.I.P. Bucket. Turns out that she was scared of that stuff. I was having a good time, not gonna lie. It was kind of fun. But either way, we realized, oh shoot, we gotta make it back to the car. And the thing is closed, so my car might get towed, because I was the driver. My car might get towed if we're like found illegally parked in a forest preserve after hours, right? So to make a long story short, since some of you guys have already heard this one, we ended up making it, but along the way we, I think, got followed, and then we lost them, and then we walked with just the moonlight, by the way. We used the moonlight to guide us so that like if there was some evildoer, they wouldn't like hear, like we were really silent. They wouldn't like hear us or see flashlights or anything. But we ended up making it back to the parking lot, and I couldn't find my car, and I was like, oh no, they freaking towed my car, didn't they? It's actually over. They towed my car. So we called the ranger cops. This was like, I don't know, 11 p.m. or something. We called the ranger dude, and he was like, yeah, what's up? And I was like, hey, so did y'all tow my car? And he was like, no, we don't do that. And I was like, well, it's not in the parking lot. And he was like, oh, did you check, the other side of the parking lot? And I was like, the other side of the parking lot? And it turns out it was just like a few feet away from us. And I was just looking in the wrong spot. So that's the story. That is the lore behind when this image was taken. This was like the calm before the storm photograph right here. But I love the framing of this shot. We have like matching I didn't use mine, but we have matching photos in like this area because we just found this little like clearing, and it was so perfect. It was like, this feels like a movie still, in my opinion, like it feels so magical because the area we're in doesn't look as magical as this like normally, but like this is just like a little win within the forest preserve. It was like, oh yay, we got this freaking photo and it looks awesome. So we had a ton of fun exploring the area, aside from getting a little bit lost. It wasn't really lost, it was just a long walk with added obstacles, if you will. Added obstacles is a good way to put it. So just a reminder for you guys, if you ever go hiking, make sure that you let people know what you're doing, and make sure you look at the trail maps properly before you leave, because while we did look at the map, we did not look close enough or time out our walking speed, and that is what happened. But it ended up being okay. All right, this is my drawing of Bucket. I can see the chat again. Yay, yay, yay. All right. Let's see. Let me scroll back a little bit so I can see what y'all are up to. Bucket hats are super aesthetic. You like bandanas and beanies to draw more. That's fair. That is fair. You want to become an art teacher, that's why you're taking art university. Me too. I am in art education major. I'm dual majoring in art education and art business, actually. You just got here, you're only learning how to draw figures now, since you never had a proper art class in your life. That is so real. Me neither. I didn't really have proper figure drawing classes until the one I'm taking right now in college. So I don't know, if you guys like this kind of stuff, I can use my degree for what it's worth, and I can give y'all like a little more art like practice sessions like this. Bucket, I love all the bucket emotes. You didn't know I do streams. You've been searching for art streamers forever. Yes, I am streaming every day until Artfight begins, actually. So 9 miles is a breeze for you and your partner who are dying after 3 miles. Okay, the elevation and the terrain matters a lot. Transfixed by the sketch. Yes. It's a great framing shot. It really is. It is a nice area. Oh, that's so cute. If I ever make this a rendered art, name it The Calm Before the Storm. That is so smart, actually. Yes, you're right. You're right. This one was fun to draw. Yay, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Let's see. You'd like the game A Long Walk. It's not, but the trailer. Ooh, that sounds fun. I like walks. You love the woods at night. You go to your family-owned cabin in the woods in Wisconsin every summer, and it's amazing. Oh my gosh, me too. We don't own a place, but I go to northern Wisconsin and northern Michigan all the time. I love the North Woods. I would not trade it for anything. Gave Bucket 6 fingers by accident. Oh no, they're AI. Pic is beautiful. Yay. Okay. The next photo is gonna be me. I'm always just out here doing some BS. So, yeah. Homeschooled, so you never got the chance to take any art classes. No worries. Please, you could desperately do how to start learning figures from each individual part videos. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I totally could put my degree to use with you guys if that's something y'all are interested in. It's right by a lake too. Oh my gosh, same. Watch it be like across the lake. That'd be crazy. Okay, so the next photograph is going to be me. Like I said, I'm just always up to something. I'm always on something. So, okay. This one is it's a more dynamic pose. It's a little less calm than the last one. I'm not super flexible, but I think the pose was a good one to draw. You got some fun shapes in there to play with. Hello. You're preparing for your next painting project. We're using some tiny canvases. Oh, so fun. Yes, you love to stick around and learning from this. Yay! Is there any way to make the ref bigger? I can make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, give me a sec. Found out blank was AI, so you made an AI-free version. Ooh, yes. You want those boots? I love them. I wear them to outfits. I wear them to concerts because I am so short that it makes me like a normal height. Gonna climb that tree. Yeah, oh, you like my fit? Thank you. Okay, let me, forests are so peak, yes. Yay. Let me try and change this to make it a little bit bigger. Hold on, guys. Let me see. Let me freaking see if I can do this. Okay. For this one, I'm gonna move it here. You guys just have to remind me to move it back because it's oriented so that any type of photo fits this spot. So it's gonna cut into my canvas a little bit. I think this is the biggest that I can get it right now. Unless I draw, yeah. This is the biggest I can get it for right now. Yeah. You tutorials. Okay, I got you. The things you do for a pair of platform boots. I think I got them at Goodwill, actually. Participating in feline activities. Meow. Okay. Alright, let me get another sip of water. Please have a snack and water. And then we will do the next one. How to Climb a Tree, written by Artie. Copyright 2026. I can zoom in on the pic if I full screen and close chat. Oops, I clicked the wrong button, you guys. Hold on. What did I do? What did I freaking do? Oh dear. Give me a sec. I accidentally clicked out of YouTube Studio and now I cannot see the chat. Take me back. No. Where did you guys go? Okay. All right. I'm back. I am not on mobile, but yeah, if you are on mobile, you can zoom in. Yes. You're going to join the practice for fun. Never do that pose. It is a fun pose. You love my boots and outfit. Thank you. Okay. All right. 5-minute timer is going to start. So like usual, I cannot see the chat while I'm drawing, but here. Oops. Wait. Where's the timer? Where's my clock? Everything got moved around. Okay. Here is my clock. All right. Ready, set, go. The context for this photo is kind of fun. I think the next photo after this one, never mind. It's not, but it's another one in this lineup, of me is also from this same day. I was with my friend and we were bored in between classes because our class schedule, we had like the same ones last semester. So we decided to take some time and just go touch a little bit of grass. And I brought my DSLR, as I always do, because I love my DSLR. I love photography. And I was like, what if we acted like those art pose websites where they they put the poses and then it's like some random like wacky pose and you gotta draw it. So that's what we were trying to do. We were trying to invent poses that would belong on one of those websites. So you guys are kind of the test subjects here, including myself, to see if this pose actually is a good one to draw. But we were just hanging around the park doing random stuff. It wasn't a park, it was a preserve. And I like trees. I actually, although it looks like I'm climbing a tree, I've never climbed a tree in my life. I do not know how, unfortunately. I want to learn, but I've never broken a bone, and I don't want to break that streak. I'm a little bit worried. I like nature. I don't mind it, but I'm always on a little bit of a safety streak. I've never been stung by a bee. I've never broken a bone, so I'm just a little cautious outside. But anyways, for this pose, I was like, what if it looks like I'm climbing a tree? Because that's dynamic enough. So I had a ton of fun, but then after this, it started pouring. And we got so drenched. So I think in the next photo, not the next photo in the lineup, but the next photo of me, I ended up looking like a wet dog. Because it was pouring really hard. I had to use the, what's it called? The lens hood for my camera just to keep it dry, because I wanted to keep shooting photos, but it was a little wet outside. And I didn't want to ruin my DSLR, so yeah. Unfortunately, with my DSLR, I have to buy a new lens cap because I accidentally left it in Austria. So unless anyone here is in Austria and can scour the streets of Vienna to find my lens cap, I'm just gonna buy a new one. But yeah, so I have to be, when I take my camera out, I have to be super careful because I don't have anything protecting it right now. Like, I have a camera bag and everything, but that can only do so much, you know. I'm just always a little bit cautious because cameras are not cheap. They are not cheap to have. And I was lucky enough to get my camera as a gift, but I could not imagine having to pay full price to replace a lens, because that is like the most expensive part on the camera. Because that's where all the magic happens, you know? That's where all the work is getting done. So, yeah. Oops, I messed up on the pocket here. Oh, my opacity is low. That's why it's looking like that. I was like, why is this so low? I can barely see. That's why. My opacity is chopped. Okay. Much better. Much better. Let me go over some of those darker spots again. There we go. Okay. This is reminding me that I have figure drawing tonight, and I have to buy supplies for the class, and I've not done that yet. Whoops. I should probably get on that after stream. Whatever. Alrighty. Let's get those shoes in. The platform shoes are super fun to draw because it's like you get to see where the foot ends and then where the platform begins. So it's like you're drawing two things in one, kind of. And the texture is super fun too, like the shininess. Whee! There we go. Let's get that little boot in. It looks like this guy goes up and under, like that. Yeah. There we go. And then I am wearing tights. They are stripy types. You might not be able to see it from the photo, but they're striped. They're striped. They actually have like a little like lace pattern in them, but I won't worry too much about that right now. Let me finish getting my pose in because the timer is almost out. Dun, dun, dun. If this was like a 25-minute study, then maybe I'd do it, but yeah. My feet always look so odd in this pose though. Not in this pose, in these shoes, because like the shoes exaggerate the way I bend them, and one of my legs turns out in kind of an unnatural way. And you can really see it with these shoes. But I wear these shoes whenever I cosplay Hatsune Miku. I think they're good Miku cosplay shoes. So, yeah. Alright. Here's my freaking drawing. And now I can see chat again. Oops, that is not the chat button. Hold on. Now I can see chat again. There we go. Alrighty. Alright. Me when I see a spider climbs tree. Peak style. Thank you. Your drawing is almost colored. Yippee! Climbing is much harder than in games. I agree. There's easier trees to climb. I feel like this one isn't it. Yeah, if there's like a low-hanging branch, I think I have a better chance. Because I can rock climb and everything. I love rock climbing, but like, I don't know. You're too scared to climb most trees, except the apple tree in your grandma's garden. You and your brother always end up in it on a bonfire night every. Oh, that's so fun! I haven't climbed a tree. I haven't lived. You also haven't broken a bone. Yay! New here, what's up? We are doing some art studies together. You do not have to do it. You can just draw, hang out, chill, whatever. But if you're doing the studies, you can always post your drawings in the Discord server to see how we're all studying together. It's so fun. Let's see. You actually got a full figure sketch out? Yay! Yippee! Congratulations! You have a painting class on Thursday. You're going to learn how to properly gesso a canvas panel. And you're like, question mark? Because you just mix colored acrylic paint with the gesso and then smack it on. Well, you have to gesso it before you paint, you know. You got to prime your canvas. I think that's probably what they're talking about. Because the gesso helps out a lot, like as like a underpainting. And then you put your colors in. I mean, you probably can mix the paint, but yeah. Let's see. You said that I said that I took classes at art college as well in community college. How do I do that? Would that be on the specific schools page? And you love the post. Thank you. So it's kind of funny. I ended up taking them on scholarships. The Art Institute, I applied to the Art Institute in my junior year of high school. And then I also took classes at the Art Institute in my sophomore and junior year because they have early college programs in the summer. And then they also have like summer programs where you can be a college student and like dual enroll basically. So that would definitely be on websites. It's very specific for schools in particular, but yeah. And then for the Columbia University one, they reached out to me for that one, so I flew out there. It was really fun. So I don't know, it just kind of like getting yourself out there with the schools, applying, whatnot. I just see myself as an opportunist, and I usually say yes to any top opportunities that present themselves to me, so I always end up in some bizarre scenarios. Let's see. You're so real. You want to do risky things, but you don't want to break your streak of not breaking any bones or getting stung. Yeah, me too. You climbed a tree for a cosplay photo and almost fell. No. Your cousin called you to chat and you started sweating because talking to him made you lose brain power. Oh no. This is super sketchy. No worries. You almost finished a sketchy bee. You got a Polaroid camera for your birthday and you haven't used it yet because you live in the middle of nowhere. But the middle of nowhere, if you look around, I'm sure there's stuff that you can find. I'm sure. You have no knowledge of anatomy. That is okay. What did I choose on Artfight? Your mystery. I am trader, so I'm all of them. Your brother is in dual enrollment for math right now. Check your schools and ask your school counselors. Yes, school counselors are, in my opinion, not a great resource for everything, but they are a very good resource for stuff like college events and like programs and whatnot. You're having so much fun with figure sketches. Yeah, I'm glad. All right, the next photo I think is a bucket photo. Yeah, the next photo is bucket. This one is going to have some goofy perspective in it. I am so sorry for everyone, including myself. Boom. This one's going to be so fun, guys, isn't it? Staying up to date on places you're interested in is always a good idea. Not art, but you're doing languages summer school at Cambridge. It wasn't really advertised, but you like to check through websites. Yeah, they aren't always going to advertise stuff, but there usually is different kinds of opportunities and stuff. Want to do the sketches, but you need to rush character sheets. Oh, that's real. You found 34 photos of your old house, and oh, I love that. All right, let me get another drink of water. And then we will attempt this super scary dynamic pose. It'll be fun. The aura, I know, right? This is in my house. This is from like a couple days ago. Yeah. Alright. Let me get a new canvas out. Okay, Bucket, it's your freaking turn. This is also taken in 0.5, so like I said, we got some foreshortening, we got some perspective, so if it ends up looking a little uncanny, that is usually just what happens. No worries. It's just fun to practice these kinds of poses. So, let me get my timer back up. Okay, alright, I can no longer see the chat, you guys. I will see you all after we attempt the bucket pose. After we do the bucket pose. Okay. I might need to lock in a bit more on this one. I don't often draw stuff like this. Let's see, Bucket, how are you? How are you freaking doing today? It almost looks like everything leads right to their core. Right to her core. So she's got this like this auriful pose right here. Her feet are not actually visible because my stairs are there, so I'm gonna add a line for the stair. I will update that later, but just so I can get that little pants there, the pants there. And then we will put this here. I'm praying that what I'm seeing peeking over the stair is not a toe, actually, now that I'm looking closer at this. She has plenty of photos that she has sent to me as ideas to draw. So if you guys ever want to do an expressions day, me and Bucket, and if he agrees to it, my friend Sheriff Mike or Mikey, we all have some very interesting good pose and expression references. Because we are always just doing something. We're always just doing something. I'm a little scared about this one. Okay, it looks like the shoulders are pulled back. So we need to pull back and push forward. How do we... construction line? Boom. Boom. Okay. Alright, I see how it is. So a little tip. When you are drawing figures or just anything from like a real life reference, there are this little thing called construction lines. They're pretty much, if you are looking at a drawing, and you see like where the shoulder and the foot are, try and imagine a line that connects them and draw the shape of that line because it will help you line up your proportions better. For poses like this, lining up the proportions is usually half the drawing so that it can like have some sort of semblance of the person and not just like something random. But I don't know. I think that that is one of the more valuable things I've learned from in-person art classes, and it is a little bit hard to recreate digitally / with an online reference, but I think it is always pretty worth it. So let me get the face. Their head is tilted like this. Glasses, boom, boom. That is very big. Okay. Alright, let's get that bucket hat in there. No bucket without a bucket hat, am I right? I got the privilege of wearing the bucket hat, you guys. I feel honored. We were at Six Flags the other day, the amusement park, and we went on a water ride, and we were all like drenched afterwards, and I got to wear the bucket hat because my bangs were so messed up. I only got to wear it for like 5 minutes while my hair was drying, but low-key, the bucket is the move. I'm just saying. Bucket is on to something. They are. Okay, let me get that little... Now we're gonna add some scenery in here, so this adds to the perspective. So this ceiling ends here, it looks like. Alright, and then this ceiling ends... Ooh, that is way too angled. The main thing about perspective is checking the angles most of the time. And I'm definitely not going to get this completely accurate, because I very rarely dabble in perspective. It's something I need to work on a lot, so that's why I included it, because I'm sure that many of us have perspective qualms that we need to work on too. So, yeah. And if not, congratulations. But personally, I mean, I think that there's always improvement to be made no matter what you're doing in art. Like, even if you are, like, the master of gesture sketches, you still gesture sketch. Otherwise, like, it'd be boring to have that skill set and not use it, you know? So, that's how I see it. Let me add the shadow under her chin. There we go. Much better. Let me get the stairs in here. Boom. We got a stair step. That is very dark. But I don't have time on the timer right now to do more than that. Okay, so we're going to do the stairs. It's like that. And then this one is like that. And like that. And then, oops, this needs to be more angled. Angle. Because we're in perspective. We are not looking at it head on. There we go. Alright. Boom. Okay. Not my best work, but I am glad that I got the perspective and the pose in there. This was a tricky one, so for all of you who did it with me, congratulations. Alright, alright. Peak cryptid, yes. Drawing Bucket is on the bucket list even. Yes. Who is this? This is my friend Bucket. This is my friend Bucket. You're new to Artfight. Any tips or pointers? Have fun. My main tip I always say to people is have fun. Have fun. I have videos on my channel about it too. You squashed the bucket. Oh no. Oh no. You usually start with a traditional sketch. Yeah. You got the idea for your drawing, seeing an AI image floating around and wanted to do it yourself. You love seeing people redraw AIs. Yes. That was hard. Yeah, it was a tricky one, but it was fun. Will this stream only be warm-ups or will I switch to more Artfight? Today's stream is just going to be like drawing practice, drawing warm-ups, because I'm doing streams every day until Artfight, so I need to give myself a break as much as you guys need a break from it. So today is just some drawing studies. Yeah. The hands on mine. Oh no. It turned out better than you thought it would. Yay. Yippee. Not too bad. You should try more interesting perspective pieces because it's fun. It is fun. All right. Next up, I think the last two are photos of me. Yeah, okay. This one is a photo of me. Your drawing is somewhat bucket shaped. Yes. I love to see it. Okay. Here's me frolicking. Yay. Did I minimize that? Oh dear. I should put that back up so you guys can actually see it. There we go. All right. Okay, beautiful. So this one, I am giving you guys a little bit of a break from the hard poses. This one isn't a horrible pose. I don't know. I think it's a pretty fluid one besides my arm. You should do it too. You're gonna overprocreate. Yay! What the heck? You're watching. Yay! Oh, one can only do so much Artfight prep. That is so true. Yeah. I agree. And like, you know what? I love Artfight, but I want to keep a balance. And sometimes I need to do the art part of Artfight. And so that's what we're doing. We're doing the art part of Artfight. It's a cute photo. Thank you. Bucket took it. Bucket took it for... Actually, this was the same day as... This was the day that I was telling you guys about. This is also the hike day. That was my fit on the hike day. Alright, let me get some more water. Don't forget to stay hydrated, you guys. I'm gonna mute for a sec while I drink more water, so one moment. Okay. I'm back. So for this one, if you guys are doing it with me, I would say, like, since the pose is simple, try and focus on the composition a little bit. We got like a little triangular thingy going on, but again, do whatever you want. So we're gonna start this in, Oh, my Artfight user is Art.ificer. Oh, I love your Momongo profile picture, by the way. That's so cute. Awesome photo, thank you. All right, we're gonna start this in. 3. Wait. 3, 2, 1. All right. And then we have 2 more of the poses today before we go into our color study. So I know this has been a grind. This has been a long practice session. You guys who are doing it with me are troopers for sticking it through. So after we do the last of the 2 poses, we will take a 5-minute break before we do our color study. Because the color study is going to be a little bit longer. It's going to be one longer piece that we focus on instead of a bunch of smaller gestures. It looks so tiny. Okay, let me focus on the values here then. There's some harsh shadows back here. Here we go. We got some clothing shadows. I always like if I have extra time on my gesture/pose studies, I think the second most important thing for me is to focus on value. Because that just kind of adds the next level of dimension and whatnot to it, you know? It adds the next little layer. There we go. And then I'll add my hair. Oh man, my hair is so, like, separated. Usually I wear it in the style that Artie, like, the drawing Artie, not me Artie, but like the drawing Artie wears, where it's like the half up, half down style. But this day I decided to just have it down, and it looks like every piece is like separated individually. I don't know why. Sometimes it does that. My hair is such a struggle, low-key, because it's like if it's not in like a ponytail or something, it does whatever it wants. It has its own like mind. But then also when I put it in a ponytail, it's like so straight that like unless I double it around, like my ponytail is a double ponytail because I put it up and then I have to like push it through the back. Like I don't know how to say this without giving a visual example, but I have to like wrap it around twice because of the fact that like if I only do it one time, I give my hair like maybe an hour on a great day maximum before anything falls out of the ponytail or braid or whatnot. I have a lot of layers, but also my hair is just super, super straight. So it kind of just falls out of everything. The ones that work for me besides the wraparound ponytail are like double braids. And then if I have most of my hair down and I do like mini braids, like if you guys know how Einar looks, my OC, those like kind of mini braids that he has going on in the front, or like for example like Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon, those mini braids, those stay in because for whatever reason my hair will stay in if it's like a smaller braid or a smaller ponytail, but like with the big ones it's over immediately. Like there wasn't even a shot. There wasn't a shot. We already just knew it was gonna be like that. It was gonna be difficult. Let me make myself far smaller. Hold on. I'm way tinier in this piece. I just needed to get that drawing in there. Okay. I can move myself down. Here we go. Let's add that little tree line. I love drawing trees. What I do to draw trees is I kind of just like, this is probably genuinely the worst way to go about it, but like I lock up my hand and I shake the muscle of my arm instead of using any muscles that are in my hand. I just like, not even my wrist, but like the general like muscle in my arm, I just like make it vibrate. Like if I'm like having a spaz, like I don't know, if I'm just like tweaking out, like it's kind of just like vibrating, you know. And then when it vibrates, it makes these super fun organic shaky lines, and that is how I draw trees. Probably gonna give me carpal tunnel in like a day or like maybe 2 days, but whatever, at least it was fun and it's a good method while it lasts. I probably would recommend not doing that just because I'm sure there's some sort of negative side effect that's gonna show itself someday down the line. It has yet to show itself though, so I guess I'm gonna keep using it. But don't be stubborn like me, you know. Do as I say, not as I do, you know, that whole thing. All right, let's add some little tree values in here. I love doing nature studies. It's super fun for me. I don't know. I'll just like go outside and go on like walks and sit down. I feel so bad because I'll like bring my iPad in nature so I could do like drawing studies on here. And it'll be really helpful because it makes sense for me to do studies in the program that I'm like most used to using. But like sometimes people will be looking at me and being like they won't say anything to my face, but I've heard people like say like, bro, imagine being on your iPad in nature. And like, yeah, it looks embarrassing, but I promise I'm enjoying nature. I promise. Okay, there's the clock, yay. Okay. This is my freaking drawing. I like this one a lot. Okay, let's see. I can see the chat again. Yay, I can see the chat again. All right, you're trying to draw an OC while watching the stream, but the armor is hard to draw. Do a metal study. Yeah. Would I be open to putting a few of the pics on Discord? Do you want to finish a few of these? But yeah. Trees are your worst enemy when it comes to drawing. They used to be until I figured out that like niche method. Hi, hello, welcome if you're new. How to Train Your Dragon mention? Yes. Oh my gosh. I am literally wearing a Hiccup hoodie right now. How do I add values? I do the 1-in-1 thing where it's just like black and white. And when I look in the photo, if I see a dark spot, I make it black. If I see a light spot, I make it white. It's a very, very good habit to get into. Hiccup mention, yes! This one's your favorite to draw so far? Yeah, this one is a fun one. We got some good like plant diversity too. You're now drawing Yamamoto shaking maracas. Have fun. Okay. You guys, this is the last of our figure studies. This is also me. This is Same outfit. You could see the day it was raining. So this is the last of our figure studies. And then we're going to go on a little break, and then we'll do a color study. You should draw the trees first and me later. You love drawing backgrounds, but you have to rush. Yeah, I mean, I think the figure is the more... I'm saying this as if it isn't me. Like, this is just in general. The figure is, like, more important, and then you can add, like, the background. You can just fill it in. And then if you guys, like, I don't know, wanted to do details later, that's usually how I go about it. Your friend made you a Toothless plushie. Oh, I love that. I love Toothless. Toothless is so cute. Toothless, yay. Oh my gosh, you have your study. I cannot open the link on YouTube, unfortunately. If you post it on Discord or if you tag me somewhere, you can I think you guys can post on my YouTube community tab if you're on your computer. But if you want to tag me somewhere, then I'll be able to look at them after stream. Yeah. All right, I'm going to have one more drink of water and then we get to do this next pose. I really like how this photo turned out, by the way. I think the atmosphere is super fun. And yes, I was walking in the river, and yes, I was drenched. Should you probably be doing the figure studies? Yes. Real. Okay. I'm feeling like I want to send a little Artie emoji. I'm going to send this Artie to the chat. The encouraging drawing Artie. The Artie of art. You're doing a day everything OC instead. Real. Alright. Guys, this is the final stretch if you're with me on this figure poses. Final stretch for the figure poses before we take a short break. So, if you guys can do this one for 5 minutes, you can do anything. Alright. 3, 2, 1, go! I like this pose a lot because it's like a really weird one. Like, I think it's pretty dynamic, but, like, in a weird way, I guess. Because it's like, what was I even doing? What was I up to? Like, yeah, it's a real pose that I genuinely hit. I don't know why. But, yeah. Okay, let's get the shapes in. Another thing that I recommend when you guys are doing, like, photo studies, like, it's specifically more if it's, like, a still figure or if the image is online, I recommend looking in the negative space rather than the space of the character or figure themselves, because the negative space, if you can make that match up, then you kind of already have your silhouette going. You've got your silhouette down for you, so it makes it like way easier, I guess, in the end to do. It's a little bit of a harder one to get used to just because it is kind of a different method than like regular drawing where you look at the figure. Like, instead you're looking at anything but the figure, but that like creates the figure, if that makes any sense. Because we have like this area here, we're gonna have the area between my shoulder and my hair, and that will just be like those little pockets to show, oh yeah, this is where the anatomy lines up with the background and everything else. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing with my arm stretched out over here, but this is a fun fabric study too, if you guys were into that, just because I had like so many different things in this outfit, because I was wearing a white dress shirt, and I was wearing a what are those called, the vests? I guess it's just called a vest. I think there's a specific name for it though. It's got like a little, it's tied back in the back, which is why there's this pinch here. And then I was wearing like a little like kilt type of skirt. I got it at like this festival and I thought it was cute. Me and my like 15% Scottish against the world. Am I right? No, but I really like the outfit. Alright. Do I hear a car alarm outside? Oh no, that is the song. Never mind. Not me pausing. I thought the music was a car alarm. That's crazy. Because I have my headphones on, so I hear everything that I'm saying and that I'm listening to at the same volume as everything outside, pretty much. So that's why, fun story, the other day I was streaming and there was a thunderstorm, and during that thunderstorm, I kept hearing the thunder at the same volume as I was hearing myself talk, and I was like kind of hungry. And so my stomach was growling, so I was hearing that on stream, but I was also hearing the thunder on stream, and I guess thunder and growling stomachs sound quite similar when when you're listening to them at the same volume. So every time, and this is even off stream, this is like my new curse. Every freaking time I hear thunder, it makes me hungry because my body thinks that it's my stomach growling. And it's like, that is not what I was trying to do, but alright, whatever. I accidentally trained myself to get hungry with the noise of thunder, so that is my fun fact du jour. Yeah. Ooh, this is a trickier sleeve. I like it though. Okay. Let's get those little folds in. We got a lot of folds on this sleeve down here. Folds can look kind of uncanny when they're in the sketch, but usually that's when the adding value comes in, and that kind of tends to tighten things up a bit. Let me add my hair now. Ooh, we got that random strand. I always have strands going in random directions. Fun fact, on Artie, you know, like, on drawing Artie, I mean, you know the piece of hair that sticks up, the ahoge, like in the middle, like where it's like, there's a piece here in between my bangs. Well, that is like a reference to Fullmetal Alchemist in a way, like, because I like to reference things in my character designs. That also genuinely just happens to me straight up. I get the ahoge, like, I'll just wake up sometimes and my hair was gonna be like, oh yeah, we're sticking up for the day. I'm like, alright, that's what we're doing. It's gonna stick up for the day and I gotta deal with it. So, yeah, that's what happens sometimes. I don't mind it. I think it's really funny, actually. But it's just like, I gotta prove that the character design is real, you know what I'm saying? Like, trust, this is actually something that happens to me in real life, not just a Sona design. Alright, I did not do the background on this one because I wanted to focus a little bit more on the texture and stuff, but I do enjoy it. Alright. Here's the timer. Yay. We freaking did it. Alright. I am back. I can read the chat again. Let's see. You don't think you realized how much you improved in art, but doing these figure studies, realizing that they're all pretty decent is an ego boost. Yes. I love when that happens. That's so fun about figure studies because they're so loose that it's like, wait, I can low-key do this, you know? You just joined in. Welcome, Harvey. Waistcoat. Yes. Yeah. Scotland forever. Have you guys seen what the Scots have been up to in Boston? Yeah. Sometimes you wake up and your hair will look like Anna in that one scene in Frozen. Yes. You did them all. Yay! You know, as a cow tongue. Yeah. Colic, cow tongue. Colic is actually spelled cow-lick, but for some reason, I don't know why, people pronounce it colic. So, ahoge, colic, cow tongue, it's all the same thing. I have one in the center of my forehead. Alright. So now we are gonna go on a little 5-minute break. Yay! Before we do our big study of the day. So I am gonna mute. I'm gonna go get a snack. I'm gonna put the 5-minute timer back on so y'all can watch it. And then I will see you guys in 5 minutes. If you are in the chat though, instead of leaving stream, try and make a friend. Okay, 1 second, you guys. I gotta get water. I was eating Fritos. Hold on, my mouth is so dry. 1 second. Okay, alright, I'm back for real. I'm back for real. I'm back for real. I see you guys have been talking about Cookie Run. I freaking love Cookie Run. My favorite cookie is Herb Cookie. Because Herb Cookie has the same voice actor as Albedo from Genshin Impact. I have cosplayed Herb Cookie. Alright, so, for our color study, I hope you guys are going to have fun with this. A lot of you might feel relieved with this drawing, actually. You might let out a sigh of relief, I will say. But it does involve the pose studies that we've been doing. So, for this color study, instead of 5 minutes, we are going to have 25 minutes, actually. We're going to have 25 minutes for this piece. So we have time for the pose and the colors. And this piece is going to be, drum roll. Wait, if I'm drum rolling, I can't switch it. Ah! There we go. It always goes back to Albedo. It does. Miku. This is one of my favorite Miku figures. And she has some fun colors. So we are doing her. We are doing her. Like I said, it's probably relieving. It's probably relieving. So what server am I for Genshin? I am the North America server. Yeah. Alright. What? Yes. Miku. Okay. So, we get to do this lovely diva for 25 minutes. I found a way that I can see chat while the timer is here as well. So this is like a little bit of a goofy setup. But now you guys are able to see. Yes, Sakura Miku's the go. I got this figure a couple days. I freaking love her. So, alright, I'm gonna start the timer. I will not be looking at the chat all that much because I am drawing and hopefully you guys are too, but I do have a way of seeing it now. Alright. It's a cute figure. You have to log off, but you might do it later. Oh, yeah. No worries. You put Miku all over your Artfight profile. Alright, so I'm going to start it now, and we get to do Miku. So this one is a color study, so while we do need to get the pose in there, the main focus is on her colors. Yeah. So I'm going to say, if you can avoid it, try not to use line art on this piece. Try to just go sketch in color. But everyone's methods are very set in stone, so I understand if that is too difficult for you. But try to approach it more like a painting, you know. You get the basic stuff in there. The drawing is always the foundation. But once you're done with the drawing, like, it's time to have fun. It's time to put in the freaking colors. Yes, you have a Sakura Miku noodle topper. I love the noodle toppers. She is one, and then I have one other one. I have two. And I bring them to college, like, to campus, and I bring ramen, and I just go fill up the ramen at the water fountain, and at the water fountain, they have, like, a microwave, so I just make my ramen that way, and Miku is always there as my, oh my gosh, my noodle topper, There we go. Hey. Welcome. Is this a draw together type of thing? Yes, it is. We are doing a color study of this Miku figure right now. Dun dun dun. You're lucky you made it through all the warm-ups. Okay. So cute. You can also stylize her however you want, as per usual. This is just the pose. I don't know. I'm debating if I stylize this or if I try and make it look accurate to the figure. I don't know. I'm a little torn right now. I think I might try and make it look accurate to the figure, actually. Because usually I stylize these. Maybe it'll be fun to do, like, a real-life color study with her. Yeah. Hi. You love how friendly everyone is here? Me too. For the longest time, I was always worried about, like, streaming and having, like, a Discord server and everything. Because I was like, oh, what if people are mean? But I think that you guys are the best community that I could have asked for. Genuinely. So, I am so glad that y'all are amazing and awesome and supportive and kind and creative and all the good things. It really is helpful for me doing this kind of stuff, because I feel like half of the joy of being a content creator from my end, right, is the community. Like, I'd be nothing without you guys, and I love seeing people interact. I love, like, being, like, I guess, not the reason, but, like, you guys can sometimes find friendships and stuff because of my videos, and I think that's awesome. Like, my videos and streams, like, there's just a whole awesome group of people here, and it's like, I appreciate you guys so much, because that's what keeps me doing what I do as well. Like, I'd get burnt out. I'd get so bored of this if you guys weren't as amazing as you are. So, yes, big heart, sentimental moment. It's for Artfight practice Yukasala. That's true. Alright. How long does the stream last? This is the last drawing for today's stream. Yeah. It's a bit of a shorter one just because we're doing more intense, like, involved art stuff. So, yeah. Community is a reflection of a streamer. I'm also too. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you guys think so. Let's see. What teams is everyone for Artfight? I am Tragedy. Not Tragedy. What the heck? Not me switching teams in my head. No, I am Team Traitor, not Tragedy. They're both T teams. Comedy is going to be the one that I'm not loyal to, but the one that I stick to through the end, but I am being Team Traitor first, just so I get those badges. Oh my gosh. Alrighty. What's going on? We are doing a color study of Miku here. Although I have spent a good chunk of my time, all 5 minutes, on this post, so I need to get to it soon. I'm kind of being slow. I'm being a bit of a slowpoke right now. I was too busy yapping. Let me get her shoes in, and then we can get started. Ooh. I am hoping, though, I'm very excited because I have the opportunity this spring break to go to Japan. I'm going to Kyoto. But I am also hoping, like, a little bit selfishly, that I get to find and take home a Miku figure from Japan. I'm super excited, though. Like, every year, I kind of have this tradition that I started with myself, because my family doesn't really go on vacations, so I started a tradition with myself where every spring break, I have to go on vacation, you know? Am I gonna be broker at the end? Yeah. Am I gonna be wiser and have a better, more fulfilling life at the end? Absolutely. So the last 2 I started this 2 years ago, when I went to France. I went to France with my high school class. We did a chateau tour, and then last year, or I guess this year, I did Austria. I went to Austria and Hungary. If there's any Hungarians in the chat, someone please give me your recipe for goulash soup, because that literally, I think about it daily. There's not a day that goes by without me thinking of that goulash soup. That's genuinely like my favorite part. So good. So this year I'm going to Japan. With my friend. So it would be fun. Take you to Japan. You're Hungarian? No way. You got any goulash soup recipes I can use? Oh, I love paprika. I don't know. I feel like there's not enough food in the United States that uses paprika in everything. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in. This might be a little bit tricky to see on stream for you guys because I have overlays, but this is part of my process. So we're zooming in a little bit here for her face. But I gotta focus on color blocking because this is not a full illustration, so yeah. Need proof? I don't need proof, that's okay. I believe it. Alrighty. Dun dun dun. Yeah. Alright. Hand. Here we go. I do not need proof, that is okay. Okay, the Miku hand is a little bit tricky here. You have to go, Cricket. No, I'm so sorry. Have a fun day. Oh, I like these socks. They're so cute. I look like a cool person. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm glad you guys think so. All right. Yeah, my go-to hack with coloring and everything. Oh, we might hop on tomorrow? Awesome. Yes, I will be streaming every day until Artfight. So I will be on a lot, you guys. I would be on a lot. But let's see. What was I saying? What was I about to say? I don't know. Whatever. Oh yeah, my method with coloring, because I consider myself a pretty fast artist. Like, I don't know. I could definitely always spend more time on detail, and I really should, and I want to improve on that, but I'm a pretty efficient artist, and I think the main reason for that is because I skip the line art, and I just do a sketch, and then underneath the sketch, I use the selection tool, and I just, like, trace over big blocks of color, and I use it to, like, fill them in. Let's see. I don't think I'm getting this 100% right, but it's okay. We'll just say she's stylized, because we gotta move on. There we go. And that's, like, my main hack. I don't know. It doesn't work for everyone, but for me it works. You're finishing up a small chainmail project, and then you're finishing your first reference sheet? Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Chainmail's awesome. Good luck. Good luck. You forgot what your OC's hair looked like. Oh no. Oh no. Alright. Okay. Here is that hair, and then let's add a gradient to it. Let's add a little pink gradient. Dun dun dun. How do you forget your own OC's hair? I mean, it's easier than you would think sometimes, especially if you haven't drawn them that much. Hi, Artie. When am I doing the art history stream? I'm doing the art history stream on Thursday. I'm so excited for that. I'm like the biggest art history nerd ever. Will I look at Artfight profiles again? Yes. Yes. I just have, if you look at my stream schedule on my YouTube post, there is more information on what kinds of streams I'm doing, but we're doing a couple fun ones here and there, like this one, art history, Gardic phone, just to spice it up a little bit. Add some pizzazz. It's been a minute since you draw it real. Alright. Let's see. If chainmail didn't take so long, you use it for text. That would be so cool. Obviously, very, very time consuming, but that would be the coolest thing ever. I think I would just, like, I don't even know. I'd just, like, spontaneously combust if someone made chainmail based on my OCs. Are you kidding? That'd be the coolest thing ever. Let's see. You feel like you're the opposite, where you start sketching, but you get so picky that your sketch turns into line art. That's how I used to be, yeah. And then I realized that, like, I don't know, I started art painting, I started traditionally, personally, so for me, this is very much more saturated. For me, it's just, I don't know, it's just easier to draw like I'm painting. Yeah. That is what ref sheets are for, you're so right. That's why we gotta make reference sheets. Boo, and also yay. Dun 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 dun. Alright. Ooh, that's so cool. I love how they sculpted the shoes on this figure, because they're like, it might be a little bit hard to see in the photo, but they're like kind of transparent, and I think that is the coolest thing. You just dropped your watercolors. No, oh my gosh. Okay, let's see, let's do a little bit of harmony, let's move that down, and then let's get some shadow in here. What are we up to today? We are doing some art studies. This is the last one of the stream, actually. Today's stream is a little bit shorter, but we're just doing some art studies, changing things up, spicing it up a little bit. We will also be doing Artfight stuff in the future streams, though, so don't worry. I didn't give up on Artfight. Never, ever. I love Artfight. But sometimes we need to do some other things, too, like the art part of Artfight. You can't have Artfight without art. Art versus fight. Hello. Seeing something in real life really does help. I absolutely agree. You finished Miku already? Oh my goodness. You are so fast. Alright. She has a lot more saturated colors than I would have expected, actually. Like, I am not used to drawing this saturated with most of my colors, so this is definitely a challenge for me. But I do like it, because I always find that Miku is, like, one of the best characters to draw when in doubt of what to draw. So let's see. Let me add some more color on her sleeves. And then once I'm done blocking, see, her sleeves are clear, so I'm going to go back and do that. But once I'm done blocking, then I can render it out a bit more. But I want to make sure that everything is down there. Let's see. Let's add clearer. Let's add her skin color here. And then, oops, here we go. Skin color here. And then go back over it. And then it's clear. There we go. That's pretty cool. And then I can always go back and fix it. Let me just block this in. She does have a white. I love this top so much. I wish I had it in real life. It is so cute. Like, I would wear this to Ren Fair. Absolutely, I would wear this to Ren Fair. I want to go, actually, this summer, at some point, I am going to the Renaissance Fair with my friends. So that would be very fun. Yes. Do I have any advice for anyone who is nervous color will mess up their line art? Personally, like I said, I'm not really a line art person to begin with, and I just color first and then do the lines on top because that's like way easier to see in my opinion. It's not for everyone, but for me, it is way easier for me to see how the line art is going to affect things if the color is already down. I don't know. But like, of course, there's multiple different art styles. So that is something that, unfortunately, if you don't have a similar method to me, you might have to watch other tutorials or see what you can figure out on your own for that. Yeah. Let's see. Can I give you motivation? You need a body rig for 2 OCs. Oh my gosh. My motivation is that it's gonna suck now, but it's gonna look super duper awesomely super freaking cool, and then you're gonna show it off to everyone, and you're gonna be like, look what I did. Yeah, I did that. Heck yeah, I finished that. And then people are gonna be like, whoa, I could never. And you're gonna be like, yeah, I have the patience now because I freaking did it. Let's see. 25 minutes. Yeah, 25 minutes. Ren Fair. Yes, I love the Ren Fair. You love your OC. Her name is Puppy, and she is a rabbit. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Okay, let me add the socks back in here in the little shoes. And then we get some lines here. There we go. There we go. Okay, we got the bows. Beautiful. And it's okay if these are messy, because again, they are studies. These are not full illustrations. These are not going to go in your portfolio. This is just to have fun and study. So this whole stream has kind of been my rotation for like warm-ups for drawing. Unfortunately, it isn't realistic that I can do them every single day, but I do them as much as possible. And it is so helpful. So if you guys are ever inclined to make this part of your routine, I say it's worth it. Absolutely. It's a little hard to find motivation, especially when it's on your own and not like with a whole bunch of other people, but it is absolutely worth it for improving your art, because it's just like you don't stay stuck doing one thing for too long, but you do it long enough that you can remember what you did. And then over time you just improve. That's just the way it is. And if it's hard, that is perfectly okay. That just means that you are learning. I know that sounds like a cope. I totally get it. But that genuinely is the truth. That's been how I've learned since like forever. Because I'm pretty much self-taught. Like, I take classes now in college. I've taken some in high school. But in terms of classes where I've learned art, I've only had like maybe 2 or 3 in college that I've gotten a very good experience from. So I don't know. This just comes from a lot of years of self-taughtedness, if you will. So since this figure isn't actual flesh and it is plastic, her shadows do seem to be a lot warmer in some areas. There are definitely some cooler ones, but I gotta make sure that I get the right hue. Doom deer, yay! Thank you for the motivation. Yes, of course. Of course. I'm glad it helped. I'm glad. I always have a tendency to make things far more desaturated than they actually are, so that's what I try to work on with these color studies personally. Because I mean, sometimes I feel like this is such a obscure thing to say, I suppose, but I feel like world views and world looks can kind of change how you draw, like, if you see the world in one way, you're gonna look for certain things, certain colors, and that's gonna end up in your art a lot of the time. Like, if you see the world, this isn't for everyone, but this is just, like, what I found in my experience. Like, if you're experiencing the world and it's, like, kind of a dark place, overall, your stuff, you're gonna be looking for that dark, muted tones and everything, because that's just, like, how you interpret the world, and it'll show up in your art. But, like, if you try and look, like, if you try and go out of your way and look for, like, something cheerful, something bright, you realize that, like, the world is actually a pretty saturated place, in terms of, like, colors and everything. Like, it's way crazier than you might think, and I think that's pretty cool. You get to go on, like, a little color scavenger hunt sometimes, and that's what I like to do. I like to try and make my pieces not, like, neon bright. I'm not exactly an eye strain kind of artist, but, you know, I don't like to make it as desaturated as I used to. Her hair is flying in the air. Let me fix that. Let me fix that. Let's see. There we go. Thank you, Miku. Let me go on a background layer now. Let's just fill that in. See what we're working with. Okay, cool. We need some gray up here. Let's get that in there. Whoops. We'll get that in here. And then I can color this back in white. Just these little, what's it called? Not desaturated. Lower opacity sections. Yeah, that's what the word is. Alright. Yes, loving OCs is the best thing you can do. We all love OCs. Okay, let me add some more hair details now. Let's freaking do it. I don't think I can select her hair anymore, so we're just gonna add some stuff and hope it works for the best. If not, at least we tried. At least we tried. Okay. She has a very dark shadow actually over here in her hair. Let's put that here. Let's put that here. How do I pick references for art studies? I used to pick it specifically on improvement stuff, but now I found that, like, I choose references that look fun or interesting to draw, and most of my references, like all the ones that have been on the stream and stuff, I was talking about it a little bit earlier, all the ones that I use mostly nowadays, unless I'm on like a gesturepose.com kind of thing, it's my own photography, because when you can make your like references and stuff more relatable, because it's like something you've experienced, I don't know, I think it just adds overall to the enjoyment of the drawing, in my opinion. Let's see. I just realized I actually set up the figure wrong. I should fix that later. She's supposed to be holding that flyaway strand of hair, so I'm gonna put that in there. That is my bad. I need to fix her. I can't fix you. Da, 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 da. You guys know ball. Alright, let's put a little shadow here on her shoulder. And then shadow down here. Ooh, this skirt goes way further than I drew it. So we will fix that. Boom. Boom, boom. Okay. Shadow. Shadow. Alright. There we go. That's better. That is much, much better. Okay. Now we gotta get that green back in here. For her little shirt. So cute. So cute. Now let's get some shadows in. So this actually looks kind of gray. This shadow. It's like, it's still warm, but it's like a warm gray. It is a warm gray. Alright. Doom. Doom, doom. Here we go. Let's see. Let's see. And then we'll add some more stuff back on over here. Back on here. And then let's fix this sleeve situation. Since the sleeve is transparent, we need to go back and address that really quick, with some darker and some lighter values. It's always just playing a game of balancing values. That's really how art is at the end of the day. Balancing values, balancing colors, but mostly values. I say values are probably the most important part, because if you can get good values, you can kind of convince people of stuff, even if they don't know what they're looking at. Usually. Not always. Of course, everything else is quite important, but values usually help you get away with stuff that you couldn't otherwise get away with in your art. Here, let's get this in here. Let's get this down. And then we can get, it looks like it's black down here actually. And then this is at an angle. And then there's some sky. I'm drawing this a little bit of a different angle than the actual piece, but I'm going to still add the sky. Just up here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. And then the little fence details. Da, 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 da. I'm just going in and adding stuff at this point. I'm going to take my sketch off. Okay. Alright, so it's not too bad. Let me just go in and darken up my darks a little bit. Let's see. Where can we make this darker? Boom, here. Boom, here. And 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 here. I should stop saving the darkest values for last. That is a bad habit of mine. Let's see. Where else? We got here. And here. And here. And here. Alright. What else? What else? I can add the little flower on her hair. Sure. And then around her skirt, we got some on the rim, got some hair there, and the timer is almost out. Almost time. Just going back and adding in some last minute details now. Again, this is supposed to be messy, so if your guys' ended up messy too, if it ended up super rendered and clean, you are just a very, very, very fast artist, and congratulations about that. Alright, let's see. We need to reestablish this over here with her ponytail. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Illusion of detail is so peak. Exactly. Let's add this, the little cherry shadows, and then a little cherry highlight. Boom, boom. And then we can Gaussian blur the background really quick. Let's see. Yes. And then I will just re-add that line. And that line, and we are done! Yippee! Yay! Alright. So this is, let me get rid of the reference so you guys can see my freaking drawing. Is it this guy? It's this guy. Get out of the way, Miku. There we go. This is what I ended up with as my little Miku. Alright, hello. So I hope that you guys had fun drawing with me today. I know this is a different type of stream, but I thought it was pretty fun. If you guys thought it was pretty fun, make sure to let me know so I can do more of these in the future. And then if you drew with me, please post it if you want to post it and you want other people to see your art. And I will see you guys for tomorrow's profile review stream for Artfight. So I hope that you all have a good day. Goodbye, you guys. See you soon.